In this session, we're going to talk about the second part of this text, this teaching, which is Bodhicitta. The text, it says, second generating Bodhicitta. Generally, there are two levels of Bodhicitta, relative and ultimate. Relative Bodhicitta is the mind that aspires to attain perfect enlightenment for the sake of others. Ultimate Bodhicitta is the wisdom that directly realizes emptiness. Relative Bodhicitta can be further divided into aspirational Bodhicitta, which is like wishing to go somewhere, and Bodhicitta of application, which is like actually making the journey. In both cases, bodhicitta is generated through former practice, and it's therefore known as coarse bodhicitta arising from science. Ultimate bodhicitta arises only through the power of meditative realization on the path, and is thus called subtle bodhicitta, which directly realizes the true nature of reality. So you are all familiar with this part, right? Bodhicitta. So when we speak of generating bodhicitta, we're talking about the awakening of the mind that moves toward enlightenment, liberation. So as usual, bodhicitta has two levels. Relative bodhicitta is the heartfelt aspiration to attain Buddhahood, not for oneself, but for the benefit of all sentient beings, including oneself. Relative bodhicitta. Then the ultimate bodhicitta is the profound wisdom that directly realizes emptiness beyond intellectual understanding. The ultimate goal of Mahayana practice is benefit both oneself and others. And bodhicitta is the foundation of Mahayana path, right? So, what is the foundation of Buddhism? Take the three jewels. Three jewels, the essence of three jewels is faith. So as we discussed above, if you have that kind of confident, unchangeable faith or trust, you have the foundation, the Buddhist, the most important one, the foundation. So you don't need necessarily practice refuge 100,000 times if you have that kind of faith. And then there are two things, Hinayana, Mahayana. So if you want to practice Mahayana, what is the foundation? It's bodhicitta. Without bodhicitta, even your spiritual practice can become self-centered or limited because you always think yourself. So when you develop relative bodhicitta, you naturally become more kind, more patient, more loving. So you start to overcome selfishness, which is the root of most suffering. So this improves relationships, reduce negative sort of mental states when you develop the relative bodhicitta. Basically, your heart change, your mind change. You have this compassionate, loving, whatever you call it, through practice relative bodhicitta. When you develop ultimate bodhicitta, this is insight, helps you respond to life with non-attachment. You see that all appearance or all phenomena are interdependent and empty of inherent existence. All right? Little bit deeper, this ultimate bodhicitta, the realization of ultimate bodhicitta is hard for beginners. So together, compassion and wisdom create the path to full enlightenment. So that's the definition or characteristic of bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? Compassion and wisdom. Then the next it says relative bodhicitta has 2 points or aspects. This is important to understand. Compassion, which is focused on sentient beings, one, right? Second, and wisdom, which is directed towards perfect enlightenment. Okay? If either of these two aspects is lacking, it is not complete Mahayana bodhicitta. So it is important that they are both complete. Here in the Here in the present context, the generation of aspirational bodhicitta alone has two aspects: focusing on merit, which is the cause, and aspiring towards perfect enlightenment, which is the result. The first is expressed in the prayer, practice in generosity, and so on. All virtuous actions can be categorized into three bases for creating merit: creating merit through generosity, creating merit through discipline, and creating merit through meditation. I'm going to read this thing, okay? When we relate these to six paramitas, the first two correspond to the paramitas of the same name, and the creation of merit through meditation relates to the cultivation of patience, concentration, and wisdom. Diligence supports them all. These six paramitas are also based on specific state of mind. Generosity is an attitude of giving. Discipline is an attitude of renunciation. Patience is an attitude of being undisturbed. Diligence is an attitude of enthusiastic effort. Concentration is a state of non distraction. Wisdom is the precise discernment. How do you say this? Discernment of phenomena. Thank you. Okay. So uh, Buddha taught that genuine, true awakening requires both relative and ultimate bodhicitta together. But we begin by develop relative bodhicitta because this is easier. So relative bodhicitta, this is the compassionate motivation to become enlightened for the benefit of others. Now, it has two aspects: aspiration and action, right? Aspiration is about wishing good things for other beings, for yourself. It desires all sentient beings to be free from suffering, including animals and all living beings. That's the aspiration bodhicitta. The action bodhicitta is actually practicing the path, engaging in virtuous actions and turning the mind rather than only holding in this kind of the intention bodhicitta. So aspirational bodhicitta focuses on the goal, which is enlightenment, while action bodhicitta focuses on the cause for enlightenment, right? Which is walking the path that leads to enlightenment. So cultivating bodhicitta brings two great benefits. Out of compassion, benefiting others and yourself, and through wisdom, it focuses on attaining perfect enlightenment. So, compassion, wisdom. That's the definition of aspiration and action bodhicitta. Because only compassion, sometimes we make mistakes without wisdom, right? Without compassion, we harm others, even though you're very smart. So with both, you have compassion, you have wisdom, that's perfect. With both this, then all the qualities of the Mahayana path arise from this kind of cultivating this precious bodhicitta, a kind mind. Without this foundation, there is no way to achieve Mahayana enlightenment. So it says here, focus on merit, which is the cause, and aspire towards perfect enlightenment, which is the result. There is a cause and result. So focus on merit as the cause means you are uh, preparing the conditions that will make your liberation or enlightenment, or whatever you call it, possible. And then aspiring toward perfect enlightenment as the result here, pattern, which means this is the intention behind your aspiration. So you don't just want to be kind, you want to attain full enlightenment. It's like you want, you know, wanting a grown fruit tree. for example. You then you just not just planting a seed not enough. You have to do more. So both wisdom and compassion, if you want to develop these two, um, cause and result are necessary, because without cause, the wish remains just just a thought, right? Without clear result, the practice lacks direction. So then he said, all virtues actions can be categorized into the three bases for creating merit. Creating merit through generosity, creating merit through discipline, creating merit through meditation. Okay, this is good. Um, so in Mahayana, all good virtuous actions can be understood in terms of generosity, discipline, and meditation. Generosity involves benefiting others. Discipline involves not harming living beings. And meditation involves cultivating mindfulness in all activities. So these are called the three bases for creating merit, accumulation merit, which together creates cause for liberation. Okay? The next it says the second aspect of aspiring towards the result of perfect enlightenment is expressed in the prayer, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. This prayer expresses the actual bodhicitta with the 2 points or aspects. For the benefit of all beings is the thought of whom we are practicing for, and focus our mind on sentient beings with compassion. May I attain Buddhahood is what we are aspiring toward, and is the wisdom directed toward complete enlightenment. It is therefore the aspirational bodhicitta, which is the thought. Through all the sources of my virtue, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings who are as infinite as space. Now, in order to generate bodhicitta, we rely on two important aspects. First, accumulating merit as the cause, and second, aspiring toward enlightenment as the result. So we have already discussed the accumulation merits through the six paramatas, right? That's the only way, through the six paramatas. Now here is the second aspect. When we generate bodhicitta, part of our practice is to develop the aspiration to attain full enlightenment. So it says, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Um, this single prayer contains both compassion to help sentient beings and the wisdom that commits to Buddhahood. May I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. So when you recite this prayer, it's very important to remember its meaning, not just recite prayer. The meaning is compassion, help sentient beings, wisdom, commits, the attain Buddhahood, enlightenment. You have to remember that. Now it says, for the benefit of all beings is the thought of whom we are practicing for and focus our mind, the sentient beings with compassion. So this part of the prayer shows your motivation, your intention. So you are practicing not for yourself alone, but for all sentient beings. So it encourage, encourages you to keep compassion at the center of your practice, okay? To remember the suffering of others. So this line cultivates three important qualities. One, concern for others. Two, pure motivation. And three, love and kindness. Then it says, may I attain Buddhahood, is what we're aspiring towards, and is the wisdom direct towards complete enlightenment. So this part of the prayer, the teaching expresses the main goal, which is Buddhahood, because a Buddha has perfectly developed the genuine, the great compassion and wisdom needed to guide others without mistake. So therefore, this line encourages us to cultivate the wisdom aspect of bodhicitta. In this way, the prayer um, contains both compassion, sort of compassionate motivation, which seeks to benefit others, and aspiration, which aims to attain enlightenment. So together, these form complete bodhicitta, the mind that leads to Buddhahood. So if either of these two aspects is missing, it's not complete Mahayana bodhicitta, right? So therefore, it is important that compassion and wisdom both complete. There's so many people, intelligent people, harms thousands of sentient beings. They have a great wisdom. They know how to do it. There's no compassion, harming sentient beings. Some people have lots of compassion, but they're kind of like don't know how to help, don't know how to develop this and that, and wisdom. So we need practice compassion, right? Over and over again and again. Practice compassion. Think about sufferings, all that. Then you grow. You have genuine compassion. You have to learn in the Buddhist teachings so that you can uh, grow, develop your wisdom. So together, you completed the Mahayana Bodhicitta, a kind heart. So again, Bodhicitta, an aspiration, focus on the result, which is enlightenment, liberation, while the action bodhicitta focuses on the cause for enlightenment, which is the path. Okay? We're talking about the relative bodhicitta. Now, the next we have the precepts. Okay? It says the precepts of aspirational bodhicitta, in addition, they are the five precepts of aspirational bodhicitta, which are as follows. 1. Never give up on any sentient beings. 2. Continually reflect on the benefits of bodhicitta. 3. Apply yourself diligently to the methods for accumulating merit. 4. Practice and train continually in bodhicitta. 5. Adopt for wholesome actions and abandon for unwholesome actions. Giving up on even a single sentient being causes the lose of aspirational bodhicitta completely. So develop the wish to benefit all beings. Reflect on the benefits of bodhicitta, which will inspire enthusiasm and help you to arouse and maintain bodhicitta. So reflect continually on the benefits of it. Gathering the accumulations increase the strength of bodhicitta, so accumulate merit and wisdom in various ways, such as through the seven branch practice. Okay, so these five precepts belong to aspirational bodhicitta, and they help to keep your motivation pure, clear, genuine, um, and growing. So the first is never give up on any sentient beings. This means that no matter how difficult a person may be or how harmful, you don't abandon them in your heart. Instead, you have a genuine compassion for them. Bhattarama said, giving up on even a single sentient being causes the loss of inspirational bodhicitta completely. So you don't have to, for keep this aspirational bodhicitta. You don't have to stay close to, harmful people. You don't have to approve of harmful sort of behavior. But if you remember when you took bodhisattva vows, for example, if you abandon this person from your mind forever, completely, that means you have broken the bodhisattva vows because you broke your commitment. And the moment you give up on someone, your bodhicitta collapses because you have taken the commitment to attain enlightenment, to help all sentient beings, right? And to benefit them without ever rejecting a single being from your mind. It doesn't mean that you cannot get angry, you know, once you take bodhisattva vows, once you take this commitment, you have to always be kind, compassionate. No. You only break this vow if you abandon someone either close or far, friends or not anymore, whatever, you abandon this person completely from your mind. You have no bodhisattva vow, for sure. And many teachers say that if you lose your bodhicitta, bodhisattva vows or bodhicitta, they say stop everything else and restore it immediately. Because if you have a broken bodhicitta, no matter you practice, 24 hours a day, it's not Mahayana practice because you have no foundation. So you have to um, fix it. And it's fixable. So they always say that. That maybe makes sense. Teachers say if you have a broken bodhicitta, stop everything else and you should make a recommitment, whatever you need, restore it immediately. Then you can start what else, your other things. So make sure you understand this if you have taken the bodhisattva vows, right? Okay. Then the second precept is that continually reflect on the benefit of bodhicitta. So your motivation not be clear if you forget why you practice, right? Therefore, we always uh, create bodhicitta motivation before whatever we do. So therefore, you sort of repeatedly remember the benefit of your practice, the benefit of a bodhicitta. It gives meaning to all your effort, hard. Um, this motivation purifies negative emotions. It brings deep inner love and joy. So if you remember repeatedly, like your motivation, it turns your daily life into the path of awakening, Mahayana. It makes all your actions meaningful, no matter spiritual or worldly, whatever, your actions meaningful. Do things based on this motivation. So just remember, bodhicitta can inspire your heart. So this reflection um, strengthens your commitment. If you want to understand more the benefits of bodhicitta, remember we had um, uh, read the first chapter of Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. I have given teaching on it, the benefit of bodhicitta. So that's what it means. Continually reflect on the benefits of bodhicitta. Never forget that. Then the third is applying yourself diligently to the methods for accumulating merit. Here, merit means positive sort of momentum of generosity, patience, kindness. Merit is growth of your own capacity to love and care. Patriarch said, accumulate merit and wisdom in various ways, such as through the seven branch practice. Okay? seven branch practice, right? Then the fourth is practice and training continually in bodhicitta. So bodhicitta develops only through practice, not just belief or intellectual understanding, like like the benefit of bodhicitta. We understand. You all understand that. That doesn't mean we have bodhicitta mind, right? So through practice, through practice. How to practice and train in bodhicitta, Bhattu was explained here more. It says the training in bodhicitta has three parts. One, training in the cause by meditating on the four immeasurables. Two, training in the actual bodhicitta by renewing the bodhicitta vow three times during the day, three times at night. Third, training in the precept through practices such as taking others as equal to yourself, exchanging yourself with others, and considering others as more important than yourself. The four immeasurables are: one, love, the wish that all beings who are unhappy may find happiness. Two, compassion, the wish that all beings who are suffering may be freed from suffering. Three, sympathetic joy, the wish that those who are happy may never be separate from their happiness. Four, equanimity, the wish that all beings overcome attachment and aversion and view everyone with an equal heart. Then it said the actual training in bodhicitta is to take the bodhisattva vow 6 times, day and night, at dawn, mid, morning, noon, afternoon, dusk, and midnight, 6 times, using any form of sadhana, whether long or short. Taking others as okay, that's how you practice the actual training bodhicitta, right? 6 times a day. How many times do you do? Uh, then taking others as equal to yourself means seeing yourself and others as fundamentally equal and wishing them to find happiness and be free from suffering. Then exchanging yourself with others is giving your own happiness to others and taking their suffering upon yourself. Considering others as more important than yourself means putting aside your own benefit and working to bring benefit to others. So, um, these are great instructions, method, how to develop your bodhicitta. Um, So there are three trainings, right? It says, training and cause by meditating on the four measurable. Uh, why this is the cause? Training and the cause by meditating on the four measurable. Especially pattern, which like a tradition, like according to his instructions, how to develop your bodhicitta. I focus on the practice on this four measurable, remember? Practicing the four measurables naturally leads to caring for all beings. And this caring is the foundation of bodhicitta. That's why it's training and the cause. That's why it's cause. As you know, the four measurables open the heart by helping us um, related to others with kindness and equanimity. That's why the cause. Then second, it says training in the actual bodhicitta by renewing the Bodhisattva vow 3 times during the day, 3 times at night. So this is where Bodhicitta becomes a commitment, not just a feeling, you know. So traditionally, diligent practitioners renew the vow 6 times a day to keep the intention continually alive. I'm sure Pater Rinpoche all his life renew his bodhisattva vow. Although he doesn't need it, it's just for him it's natural, like genuine. For us, we have to, right, renew at least once a day. Once a day. We can do that. If you can't do that, forget a practice bodhicitta. So it's really important to renew vows every day after you receive the vows. Or you don't have vows, you should. So you need to recite remember we have renewal, the refuge and bodhisattva vow prayer. Do you remember? It's called a daily practice to renew the bodhisattva vow. If you don't have, you can find it on the website if you need it. So this is how you renew your vows, okay? Um, so every morning you do sort of 3 prestations, and then you recite the renewal of a refuge in bodhisattva vow prayer in front of the Buddha's bodhisattvas, and you remember your commitment and to keep your vow pure throughout the day. This is called the actual bodhicitta, okay? Because in taking the vow, you put yourself in the same position as all the past Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who also begin by generating this intention. And then at the end, they have a genuine bodhicitta. That's how we develop our kind mind. And then third is, it says, training in the precepts of bodhicitta, right? Which includes all these methods, such as, exchanging yourself with others, um, you know, uh, according to the Shantadevas, right? And then meditating on 7 points cause and effect by Atisha, right? Or other methods of bodhicitta meditation, whatever you like. So these are all mental training that cultivate, strengthen the mind of bodhicitta. Now, the fifth of the 5 bodhicitta precepts is, it says here, the 8 wholesome and unwholesome actions consist of 4 wholesome actions to adopt and 4 unwholesome actions to abandon. The 4 unwholesome actions are: 1, deceiving anyone worthy of respect; 2, feeling misplaced regret; 3, abusing a holy person; and 4, cheating others. Continue. The 4 wholesome actions are: 1, always avoiding lies, even if it risks your life; 2, guiding everyone on the path to enlightenment; 3, treating bodhisattvas with the same respect as the Buddha; 4, being honest with all beings. If you apply yourself to these practices, you will never forget the mind of bodhicitta in all your future lives, and all the qualities of the bhumis and paths will develop and increase like the full moon virtue. Are we done? We're done. So the last here we have four unwholesome actions, right? Deceiving anyone worthy of respect. This means intentionally lying or acting dishonestly towards those who benefit you, such as teachers, spiritual guides, such as your parents, and others who show you kindness and love. Um, if you pretending to have more realization or compassion than you actually have in order to gain respect or whatever, not good. And if you cannot be honest and respectful toward those who guide you, this is an unwholesome action. And as a result, your bodhicitta becomes sort of unstable, right? Very important, this precept. And second, it says feeling misplaced regret. This means you regretting your positive actions, such as generosity, kindness, compassion, or any help you have given to others is 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 unwholesome action. Okay, for example, if you give generously to someone in need, and then later you think I should have kept that for myself, sort of you regret, right? Or you allow others to convince you that you should not have given it. So when you regret positive actions like this, generosity, then merit created by that generosity is diminished. And this also reduced your bodhicitta. Very important. Never regret positive actions. Third, it says abusing a holy person. This refers to speaking harshly or criticizing spiritual teachers or anyone sincerely following a genuine path. So when you criticize such a person, you harm your own sort of capacity to grow your bodhicitta, and you um, generate resentment toward goodness. Then fourth precept, it says cheating others. This means sort of taking advantage of others through manipulation, especially when they trust you. Cheating others destroys trust. Bodhicitta requires openness and sincerity. So these are the four unwholesome actions that bodhisattvas need to abandon. Then there are four wholesome actions. Those actions cultivate your mind that is truthful, compassionate, respectful, and sincere. Each wholesome action directly corresponds to the opposite of one of the unwholesome actions. Okay, so unwholesome actions describe what to avoid, and wholesome actions show how to actively develop the correct mind and behavior. Then the last line it says, if you apply yourself to these practices, you will never forget the mind of bodhicitta in all your future lives, and all the qualities of the bhumis and path will develop and increase like the full moon. The future lives refers to the continuity of your mind stream. When bodhicitta becomes genuine and natural, it leaves a deep imprint in your consciousness. Therefore, if you believe in next life, you will naturally feel kindness. You see, right? Sometimes, even like babies, they have a compassion. Even sometimes babies, they have a very negative sort of behavior. Why is that? Why? Therefore, I think if you develop bodhicitta, kindness, you will naturally feel kindness. You will be sort of directed to spiritual practice. You will easily meet uh, good teachers and dharma teachings and conditions that help you continue the path until full enlightenment, and leading you step by step toward full enlightenment. Your practice never lost. Your effort is never wasted with bodhicitta. So bodhicitta carries you forward on the path. Teachers say like a strong wind behind your back, making your aspiration to continue sort of naturally once you develop some kind of bodhicitta. So if you cultivate bodhicitta in this life, bodhicitta will guide and protect you